Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
The News Channel 8 special presentation.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. I'm Ande Engleman. Harvey Whittemore is supposed to be the most powerful lobbyist in the state, and Washoe County wants to hire him for your lobbyist. He's on the hot seat this morning. And Don Gustavson and Debbie Smith are facing off in Assembly District 30. Which one is going to win, and how do they stand on taxes and yucca? And on our pundit panel, we have joining Greg Ferraro, Ande Barbano, and Dick Gammick. And one of the things we want to talk about are those Attorney General ads. What's going on here? All that and more, just ahead on Nevada Newsmakers.
These two doctors know how to have a good time.
Did you bring snacks?
But when a patient's life is at stake, they are at their best.
I'm gonna get you out of here.
Treat yourself to the super docs the critics call dashing. MD's ABC Tonight, 10/9 Central.
Okay, bye-bye. Hello, and welcome to the Career College of Northern Nevada. I'm Laura Goldhammer, Director of Admissions. I'd like to take a moment to talk to you about something that should be of grave concern to you, your future. Let me begin by telling you first that no future is good unless you have a good-paying job. And no good-paying job is good unless it offers you a good future. Your future is our future. We'll teach you everything you need to learn and know. We go the extra mile to help you by offering special tutoring classes. Choose from any of the fastest-growing, good-paying occupations with a future.
Hi, I'm Tracy. Just call 856-2266, and I'll get you started by sending you these special Career Choices brochures, which describe each one of the career choices offered at Career College of Northern Nevada. So call now, 856-2266, and ask for me, Tracy. Call now! That's 856-2266.
When my dad and I decided to make some changes in his lifestyle, we knew right where to go. Rayleigh's. They have everything we need to help him eat better, keep better track of his health, and take better care of himself. They even have a website with lots of expert advice. How do I know they have everything to live a healthier lifestyle? Easy, because when I'm not helping my dad, I'll be helping you at Rayleigh's.
Hey, Reno, how much would you expect to pay for 2 pairs of glasses? Now at iMasters, get 2 complete pairs for just $99. Choose from over 1,000 quality frames, and your second pair can be for you, a family member, or friend. Why pay more? Save at iMasters.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad and political analyst Ande Engleman.
Welcome back. Harvey, I understand you've been hired by Washoe County to work as their lobbyist. Is that true?
Yes, Ande. The firm was retained after negotiations with various county officials. They felt that they needed some involvement with respect to the tax issues this session in light of the perilous nature of where the state stands and the potential impact it would have on services to the Washoe County residents. So the firm was retained, and obviously as one of the firm's legislative lobbyists, I'll be actively involved.
Will that be the only issue for Washoe County that you'll be lobbying on?
The agenda has been discussed in some length internally. We haven't been given express orders yet as to the various issues that we're going to be involved in. Everybody's aware of the disputes associated with the regional plan and those sorts of things. So I think that there might be some legislation that will deal with those issues. But again, we'll receive our direction. As you know, all of our activity is client-directed, and so we'll wait to see what the county commission and the staff come up with in terms of an express agenda.
There was some nervousness on the part of Reno when they heard that you'd been hired. I guess they're worried about an issue where they might be in opposition to you and losing that.
Ande, I don't think that there's a lot to worry about right now. Everybody knows of our strong relationship with both the City of Reno, City of Sparks, the other local governments, the other agencies that provide services here in the Truckee Meadows. And I think everybody's afraid of what they don't know. We need to see where this comes out. The biggest issue that everybody needs to be concerned about is a reallocation of resources from the state and local level and making sure that the local governments continue to receive a fair and appropriate allocation of the tax dollars necessary to provide services.
Now, there's an advisory question on the ballot having to do with the trench that directs the commission to possibly come out in opposition to it. If you're given any sort of direction to lobby on anything about the trench, will that be a problem?
It probably would be. That's certainly not one of the issues that we discussed, and it would be one of those things that we'd have to take a look at. As you know, as an attorney, I'm ethically prohibited from advocating a position adverse to another client. When that comes up, we simply withdraw from representing both people. So that would obviously require us to have further discussions.
Now, you also represent a tobacco company.
We do.
And there is an advisory question, not only on our ballot, but down in Clark County also, having to do with smoking.
Andy, as you know, that question in large part is simply a question designed to showcase how voters feel with respect to a particular issue, because state law is quite clear that at the local level, the local entities cannot change the preemptive nature of what the state has done with respect to where smoking is appropriate and where it isn't. We've had a significant number of discussions over the past 10 years, 5 sessions involving where smoking is appropriate and where it isn't. It's an adult activity. It needs to be in a position where, again, there's not exposure to minor children. You need to appropriately regulate it and tax it.
What's the problem with one county having a law one way and the other county having it different?
Well, quite frankly, this is a resort state, and we can't have situations where people are precluded from engaging in an activity in one part of a community, for example, Sparks, and then all of a sudden they can engage in the same activities in Reno. By definition, what you may be doing is hurting one operator vis-a-vis another operator. In Clark County, especially, it's difficult because the major facilities are at the county while the downtown is subject to the city of Las Vegas.
Okay. One quick last question. There's been a lot of discussion about campaign finance reform and campaign disclosure statements. You as a lobbyist, Harvey, what do you expect from a candidate when you contribute money to his campaign? What do you expect in return?
All that I expect, it's very simple from my perspective, and that is that we have the ability to discuss with them the issues that are then pending before them. We don't go in with preconceived notions. If I can't make my argument in an effective and persuasive way, then I expect those individuals to vote against me. If they're not persuaded by my arguments, vote against me. All that I'm asking for is the ability, and what that money provides, is to let the voters decide who they'd like to let me work with. That's all that it is, and whoever they send, we'll be happy to work with them.
So you haven't bought a vote?
We don't do that. Illegal.
Okay. We'll be back after this break with Don Gustavson and Debbie Smith.
For the past 20 years, I've seen a lot of changes in education.
I hope that I've had a positive effect on the students who have sat in my classroom.
I've taught them English and math. I've taught them science. But if there's one legacy I hope I've left with them,
It's the value of a quality education.
In my experience, the Nevada State Education Association
has consistently stood up for quality education
for our kids and their future.
Any questions?
Why wait for more?
This week, hurry and beat the Columbus Day crowds to more Furniture for Less.
And get more. Pay absolutely nothing till 2004.
And for all cash buyers and credit card users, get a 10% discount.
More savings store-wide. Plus no down payment, no interest, and no payments till 2004.
And for cash buyers and credit card users, get a 10% discount.
More, where America buys furniture for less. Today, tonight, and tomorrow, 12 hours.
Does the thought of going back to work scare you? Do you feel the skills you learned years ago are inadequate for today's jobs? Let Career College of Northern Nevada help you get back on your feet again. In just 6 to 12 months, we can update you on the latest office and computer skills you need today. Career College of Northern Nevada can change your life with training in travel and tourism, data processing, medical, or legal. Or you can earn an associate's degree in computerized business management or electronic technology. Career College can change your life.
My marriage had ended, forcing me to go back to work. But when I went looking for a good-paying job, I discovered my past skills to be outdated.
Hi, this is Tracy. If you would like more information on how you can get started on a new life, call me now at 856-2266. If you do, I'll send you these complimentary brochures which describe each one of the career choices offered at Career College and how you can get started. There's no obligation, so call now at 856-2266 and ask for me, Tracy.
Welcome back. During the last session, they did reapportionment, and what that did in Washoe County is it pitted a couple of good lawmakers against each other. Today's guests are Don Gustavson and Debbie Smith, and unfortunately, they're having to run against each other for election to Assembly District 30. Just very quickly, I want to explain, because I did get an email about this. In our state, instead of a House of Representatives at the state level, we have what is called an assembly. So we have a state Senate and a state assembly. That's similar to the House of Representatives at the national level. And those are the seats you're running for. Is that right?
Yes.
Debbie and Don, I want to start out right away. Where do you stand on taxes? We're looking at a possible tax hike. Debbie?
Well, I am very open to what our governor will present and what the Tax Policy Study Committee presents. You know, we just received 16 pages of budget cuts that our governor had to face, and I'm very concerned about that, from small items like construction at a veteran cemetery to $9.5 million of technology cuts to our schools. I'm very open to the recommendations from the Tax Policy Committee and enhancing the revenues in the state so that we can adequately fund the programs that my constituents need.
Don?
Yes, I'm very concerned about any tax increases that might be proposed. I've always been opposed to most and all tax and fee increases. I'd like to see their study when it comes out. But I definitely am against the state income tax, the tax on services. I think we need to really more economize our government more than we do to raise taxes. We have areas of government that I think that we could really take a closer look at and do some a little bit more cutting. We've done some great, governor's done a great job in cutting some of the taxes areas of government that need this. Hopefully this will not affect our performance of the government in any way.
All right, what if, let's say that the governor's cut everywhere he could and could possibly cut. If there has to be a tax hike,
31.
What tax do you most favor? Recognizing that nobody likes any taxes. Don?
4.
There again, I haven't really given a whole lot of thought as to what tax we want to increase. I'm always looking at ways that we can decrease taxes and cut our tax base. We really don't have a budget shortfall as we do a spending problem.
Debbie?
I just want to reiterate that we have a very bipartisan group looking at our tax structure, our revenue structure in Nevada. And we have a Republican governor, we have Democratic leadership in the legislature who have all acknowledged that we have a budget shortfall and that we have had to make cuts. So we do need to look at revenue enhancements. I want to wait to see what the study committee comes forward with. I want to hear all that testimony in the legislature. That's one of the nice things about spending those 120 days there, is getting to hear all of that information and then being able to make an educated vote.
You know, to a lot of voters, that's a cop-out. I'm sorry, but a lot of voters want to know where you stand before they go to the ballot box. Would you say that you're more inclined towards, if the governor says we need a tax hike, then you will probably go along with what he needs?
I am very open to that. I believe that we do need to enhance the revenue in our state. And again, it's a wide variety of citizens who have served on that study committee, as well as our governor and our legislative leadership, who have looked at our budget and believe that we do need to enhance those revenues. So I am open to all possibilities. I don't feel that we have enough information right now to say what tax we might support or what enhancement we might support.
Okay.
I'd like to take a look at that too, again, as far as areas that we can cut taxes. The governor's done a great job, like I say, going over the budget and everything else, looking at different agencies where he can cut. But the different audits that have come out recently, the Nevada Department of Wildlife, they have one person in there had 1,100 hours in 1 year of overtime. This is a waste, obviously, and I know the governor's taking a look at hiring another staff person to compensate for this, but why is this allowed to continue to happen? Not just this agency, but other agencies too. We need to dig deeper into these auditing and see where else we can really cut.
I know you both agree on continuing the fight for Yucca Mountain, but Don, what do you think in the next session would be the most important piece of legislation you could accomplish? I knew we need to make this short because we're almost out of time.
I'm going to introduce a bill again, like similar to Prop 13 in California, put a cap on property taxes so our seniors don't have to have the fear of losing their homes or selling their homes because they can't afford to pay property tax on it.
Okay. Debbie?
I want to continue my work in the education arena. We have to continue looking at programs and funding for our students to achieve the academic standards that we've established. We need to look at English language learners and whether we're doing enough to help them get up to speed and be able to meet the standards in our state. You know, these students will be running this state and they'll be our workforce, so I want to continue making sure that we give them all of the tools that they need.
Great. Thank you both very much. Voters, you have some real choices out there. You can't say this year that all the candidates are the same. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll have our pundit panel with Ande Barbano. Harvey Whittemore is going to join us, Greg Ferraro, and a whole lot of topics.
Hey guys. Hello, and welcome to the Career College of Northern Nevada. I'm Laura Goldhammer, Director of Admissions. I'd like to take a moment to talk to you about something that should be of grave concern to you, your future. Let me begin by telling you first that no future is good unless you have a good-paying job. And no good-paying job is good unless it offers you a good future. Your future is our future. We'll teach you everything you need to learn and know. We go the extra mile to help you by offering special tutoring classes. Choose from any of the fastest-growing, good-paying occupations with a future.
Hi, I'm Tracy. Just call 856-2266, and I'll get you started by sending you these special Career Choices brochures, which describe each one of the career choices offered at Career College of Northern Nevada. So call now, 856-2266, and ask for me, Tracy. Call now! That's 856-2266.
News Channel 8's InstaWeather. Live, accurate weather information close to home. So if you live here in Sparks, you'll know exactly what the weather is like from our weather sensors mounted here at the Wells Fargo on disk drive. With our exclusive network of weather technology, we give you the local weather right down to your town. On TV, on the web, and on your PC desktop. News Channel 8's InstaWeather. It's changing the way you look at weather.
InstaWeather, sponsored by Wells Fargo Bank, exclusively on News Channel 8.
I don't have enough time to get my health checked. If you want more time, get a health check. Health Check, a comprehensive health screening program for the early detection of heart disease, strokes, and cancer. Reno Diagnostic Centers. For appointments or information, call 785-6305.
Just a goon the whole thing.
Welcome back. We're here with our pundit panel. We have Greg Ferraro representing the Republicans, Ande Barbano representing the Democrats, Dick Gammick representing a Republican conservative point of view, and Harvey Whittemore from Lionel Sawyer and Collins representing himself. All right, I want to start. Last night I was very surprised to see an ad by John Hunt, who's running for Attorney General, against Brian Sandoval, and it was our esteemed Senator Harry Reid was saying that Brian Sandoval was a mudslinger and essentially a liar because of all the things that he was saying. But the ads that have run up here by Brian Sandoval haven't been attack ads. They talk about his background and they talk about what he's going to do if he's elected. Where's the mudslinging? Where's the why would the senator be calling Brian Sandoval names when Brian Sandoval hasn't been doing that? Is this just negative campaigning?
Maybe Senator Reid knows the ads this guy's going to start tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe he's got good intelligence.
Are we just talking going negative because John Hunt's behind in the polls?
I don't think it's necessarily a part of any strategy that you go negative within X number of weeks of the election taking place. I think what you have to do is get your message out. Senator Reid is saying having a strong Democratic Party is the most important message that I have, and therefore I think you have to put him in the context of him protecting what he perceives to be his interest in promoting good Democratic candidates. And I don't think, as in politics, always in politics, I don't think that you personalize those, and I don't think Brian will. I think he'll understand it's part of the political landscape in which he runs, and that Senator Reid is doing his job.
Well, the dirtiest campaigner in the history of Nevada politics is running the Brian Sandoval campaign, Snidely Whiplash himself, Peter Ernott, and they've taken some close-to-the-belt pot shots that have run in the Northern Nevada press. So just because there aren't negative spots on TV right now, the stuff that's come up out of Las Vegas has been some pretty negative stuff. So Senator Reid's strategy may well be to kill it before it spreads.
I think, you know, the Hunt campaign has been accused of taking some contributions they're not supposed to be taking and taking some money they're not supposed to be taking. I think those are legitimate concerns that need to be brought forward. I am like you. I have not seen any negative stuff come out of Pete Arenot or the campaign. The Senator Reid ad I relatively understand because I've seen him before come out very strong for the Democratic candidates to promote them and try to get them into office. The one I don't understand is the one that's come out, very negative campaign ad against Brian Sandoval by the power company folks. That has been an extremely negative ad there. They're calling him everything under the sun and asking where he stands, and that's all it is strictly negative campaigning, and I don't like that. I don't like it at all. I think you can get the issues out and talk about them in campaigns and hack at the issues, not start attacking people.
Pardon my ignorance. I haven't seen, you say, an ad from a power company attacking Sandoval?
I don't know if the power company is the ones who have done the ad.
I think part of the Hunt strategy is to try to attack Brian on the basis of his representation of the shareholders. I think it's a pretty flimsy attack, number one. Number two is I don't think it's working. I think as far as Senator Reid's concerned, you see him up on TV for a number of different Democratic candidates. Frankly, it comes with the turf. When you're the head of the party, you got to take care of your flock. And the Sandoval campaign, I think, is making the case to Nevada voters that his experience and his leadership is superior to that of John Hunt's, and he'll be elected Attorney General.
Okay, we've got to move on because limited amount of time here. Dick's brought a show and tell pertaining to ballot question 9.
And by the way, this is the only time in the history of man that I'll be further right than Dick Gammick.
Good point. I just wanted to bring this morning and show, this is 1 ounce, 2 ounces, 3 ounces of marijuana for question 9. This is somewhere, in fact, Andy's going to demonstrate for us, this is somewhere between 90 and 120 cigarettes. Unless you're Cheech and Chong, then it's about 3.
Oh, then it's about 3. And what's you say the street value of that?
Last I heard, this is going for about $400 an ounce on the street now. So we're looking about $1,200. I'll defer to an expert.
I'll give you 1,000 cash right now.
No sale.
I think, obviously, when people realize that the amount that's involved is so substantial, they're going to take a look at this question much differently. I think that people perceive 3 ounces as a minor amount of a particular product, but for this particular type of product, it's very significant, and I think that people will see that and start to focus on it. And I think it'll probably create a sort of a backlash, and people will vote against the proposition.
We are still talking about reefer madness in the year 2002. You can't get much more retro than that. Phony issue, innocuous situation. Go after alcohol, go after hard drugs, but we're still pimping reefer madness. I couldn't be more disappointed.
What the problem with this is, though, Andy, this isn't where it quits. I said this 2 years ago when they did the big medicinal marijuana push. I'm saying it now, and I'll keep saying it, that these people are not going to quit till they legalize all drugs. There's a billionaire and 2 millionaires who have spent almost $20 million in the western states today trying to legalize drugs, and they keep pushing it and keep pushing it and keep pushing it, and they've stated they're not going to quit till they legalize drugs. So this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Then start with beer, because that's the gateway to everything else.
Now, wait
Okay. We only have a few minutes left. We only have a few minutes left, and this eases the beer, eases right into this. Even as we're sitting here, there's a committee down in the legislature in Carson City that's voting on taxes. All right, gentlemen, quickly.
I'll tell you what, in my opinion, what is going to happen. I think you're going to have a comprehensive tax policy that will actually be adopted by this legislature. I think the time has come that Nevadans will recognize that something needs to be done. I think under the leadership of Governor Gwynn, not Dudley Do-Right, as Andy calls him, but under the leadership of Governor Gwynn, Senator Raggio, Rich Perkins on the Assembly side, I think you will see a comprehensive tax policy. I do not think that you're going to see a piecemeal approach we do need to do something very, very significant, and I think people will realize it, and I think that the legislature and legislators will react appropriately and do something very positive for the people of the state.
The gambling industry, starting with the bat tax and before that, over 10 years ago, has had a long-range plan to increase taxes on the great unwashed and eventually lower the taxes on itself. As a matter of fact, Mike Sloan said that...
You're giving us talents that we do not have.
Harvey, I never fail to respect your talent or denigrate it. But what they intend to do, and Mike Sloan said this in some news report earlier this year, Mike Sloan of Mandalay Bay Resorts and the Nevada Resort Association, once we fix the tax base in the state, then maybe we'll go for a decrease in the gross gaming tax. That's what they're after. That's what they're after.
That is absurd. That is absurd on his face.
Predictions?
Well, you know, let's stay on this subject matter. I mean, Andy loves to drag these red herrings across the table. The fact of the matter is, nobody in the gaming industry has said anything about decreasing their tax burden.
Yeah,
in fact, the fact of the matter is, the gaming industry, please do, because I think that's a falsehood, Andy, and I think you know that.
No, but one of your guys said it.
Okay, okay, that's it. We're out of time. We're going to have to go. Didn't even get the predictions. All right, we'll be back in just a minute.
Brag about your children. Talk about how smart, beautiful, and gifted they are. Just make sure you're talking to the most important people you know. Your kids. Tell them all the good things they do. It'll build their self-esteem and give them a positive outlook on life. Teach self-confidence. Put your children first.
Children First is brought to you by the Washoe Education Association.
Mom's recipe for life is to enjoy it to the fullest. That's why she told me about Northern Nevada's Diagnostic Breast Care Center. From how to watch for breast cancer to how to stay fit and reduce health risks, they answered all of my questions. Thanks to Mom's advice, I'm enjoying life on my terms. So about the only question I still have is, I was getting stuck with the dishes.
Northern Nevada Medical Center. Quality health care close to home.
Hey! That thing got a Hemi? Yeah. Sweet.
The all-new Dodge Ram Heavy Duty.
Did you mean the Charger? Because, you know, that's got a Hemi, too.
Now with a 345 horsepower, 5.7-liter Hemi Magnum. Grab Dodge's 770 powertrain limited warranty. Ford, Chevy, and Toyota don't match it.
Reno Business Executives. CEO IQ presents Jack Trout, consultant to Fortune 500 companies and best-selling author on marketing, October 18th at the Atlantis Resort Casino. Trout uses positioning to make companies more competitive. If he can boost the bottom line performance of Fortune 500 companies, he can do the same for your company on October 18th. And you can win a library of his autographed bestsellers at the luncheon October 18th at the Atlantis Resort Casino. Purchase your tickets today. Call 828-3939.
We're back. We're going to start real quickly with predictions. Harvey?
My prediction for the next 4-year period is that the railroad trench actually will be constructed. Start of construction will take place, and I think people will start to realize the benefits associated with that project.
Dick?
Since we covered the subject today, I'm going to predict that Brian Sandoval will be our next Attorney General.
I'm going to agree with Harvey that the railroad trench will get built, but Union Pacific's going to have to come up with a hell of a lot more money.
I'd say that I'd like to have seen many other Democrat members of the U.S. Senate leave than Robert Torricelli, who was a good friend of Nevada.
Okay. Be back with us on Monday when we've got Sheila Leslie and Larry Martin and Greg Ferraro for our pundit panel. And remember, you can see a repeat of this program at 9 o'clock tonight on Channel 12, on Charter Cable 12 in Reno, Carson, and Douglas County. And send us an email to newsmakers@colotv.com. I particularly like the tips and the heads up on stuff. That's great. Thank you.